Hello all, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a very long break. That was partly intentional and I could not also make up time to make a video. So here's been a little update. I have joined back to my residency post my 6 months of maternity leave. So the last month has been completely chaotic. I've been moving, I've been shifting, and I've been trying to settle into the new place with the kids. And now, for the last 2 weeks, I am back into the residency, and it feels good. Initially, I felt clueless, I felt out of place, I felt completely, rewired. And now things are settling and it's getting better. For anyone out there who's in the same boat, trust me, it gets better. And there has been a lot of queries regarding EMREE, and people has been asking one question repeatedly: how EMREE is different from NEET or INICET, and can I prepare for both the same time? So that one question I really wanted to answer for very long. So here is my take on it. So if you're preparing for NEET or INICET, probably what people do is either they work during that period or they take a complete 1 year break and then prepare for the exam, because the exam is so demanding. You have to start from the old 19 subjects, starting from your patho, micro, pharma, biochem, everything. You start from your first year through your final year. There are facts, there are theory, there is clinical aspects, everything. It's a mix up of everything. So it's something that really requires you to sit for longer hours and study. So most people either drop from their job or they try to take it along with their job. So that's one thing with NEET and INICET. The other thing that makes NEET and INICET different from EMREE is that it is 1 day exam, and that score or rank decides your future. Like, it decides which branch you get into, it decides which college you can get into. Okay, so that's just it. All your 1 year or maybe more of your practice and your dedication and your hard work will get reflected on that exam, and that will decide your further plan. However, EMREE is different in two senses. One is the syllabus. It is, I would say, easier compared to NEET and INICET, as well as the preparation time should be less because it is only the final year subjects. You need to know a bit of here and there of the other subjects because you need to know the application that comes to medicine. So you need to know that, but you need not know the theory of other subjects. So it's more of medicine based because medicine has a heavy weightage, including family medicine, community medicine, psychiatry, derma, everything, and all the other systems in medicine. And rest you have OB/GYN, surgery, and pediatrics. So syllabus wise, it's a little bit lesser compared to NEET and INICET. But why you can't prepare for both at the same time is exam wise, even if you prepare for NEET and INICET, it may be helpful for EMREE, but you still have to go through the past files to see how the questions are going, because EMREE questions are not tougher, they're trickier. So you need more practice to get a hang of it. The other thing is, EMREE is not just 1 day that decides your whole future. Unlike NEET and INICET, where I told you the rank decides what your further plan goes like, EMREE is not like that. EMREE is a multi-step process. You need to have a good GPA, you need to have a great portfolio, and you need to have a considerable high EMREE score if you are applying as an international medical graduate, especially. So for the portfolio, you need research, you need other courses that you can do along. You need to attend conferences. You need to go in line with the specialty of your choice. It's not after the rank comes that you decide which branch you want to choose. You want to choose the branch earlier on and get your portfolio in line with your specialty of choice. Your whole application should speak up for you. So that is the whole point. And there is also documentation that should be taken alongside. You can't wait for the last hour to start doing all of that thing. There is data flow, there is ECE verification, there is attestation. Then finally, when everything settles, you have to do the equivalency. So there are a lot of documentation, and you also have to write IELTS. You need not have IELTS before EMREE. You can write it even after, but you have to get it done. So there are a lot of other things that you need to consider alongside EMREE preparation. It's not just you're reading the theory or doing the questions and get done with it. There are a lot of other things that has to be taken seriously, with due consideration, with the same intensity as the preparation itself. So that's why it becomes important for you to prioritize everything. So that's why I recommend people not to mix up your NEET and INICET preparation with EMREE preparation. You're putting your foot on both the boards and you're not going to be anywhere. Either you completely dedicate to NEET and INICET, because if that's your plan to stay back in India, give your 100%, because that exam alone is going to decide your branch. But if you are going for EMREE, then go for it. Give it 100%. And remember, it's not just the exam. You have to take care of the documentation. You have to take care of the portfolio building. So there are 3 things you need to consider, all together simultaneously. So you have to make up time for everything. Maybe this month you're doing a bit of preparation from medicine, you're doing cardio then also do some part of your research. Okay, do something that is related to your portfolio building, like maybe any volunteering activity, any clinical attachment programs in the concerned department, in the concerned university. If you're doing it, all can go into your portfolio. So think about that and do documentation early on, because it is going to cost you a lot of money. So if you're splitting the expenses across the months from, say, if you are starting now, you still have around 5 to 6 months before the cycle begins. If you're giving January exam, February exam, you have even more. So plan everything accordingly. When do you have to do your clinical attachment? When are you going to get your research published? Because research publication, trust me, is a major thing. You can't go wrong in that. You have to have any one research published in a peer-reviewed journal. So that should be your goal, and you have to know when you're going to give other courses, when are you going to do the volunteering in any other concerned department, when are you going to do anything that can be added to your portfolio. If you have any CME lined up, see if you can do any poster presentation. If you're right now in internship, it would be a great time to do all of these things. It is going to be a little bit hectic, but trust me, it is going to be worth it at the end. So go contact your professors. They'll be ready to help you in terms of research, in terms of poster presentations and symposium. So do everything that goes in line with EMREE. So you can't be doing both. People do ask me this because they think I have prepared for both INICET and EMREE together. It was not the case. I am a 22 graduate. After that, I had my baby. And then I'd been working for a year. I took a drop to prepare for EMREE. So from beginning of June 2024, I had not been working. I've been preparing for EMREE as well as MRCP Part 1. That has been going together. I had done the documentation, the attestation, everything. And March 2025, when I applied, by the end of June, I got to know that I may not be getting a seat. I was called for MMI at MBRU, but there was nothing further. So from June of 2025 was when I started preparing for INICET For 5.5 months, I've been preparing for INICET. I gave November 2025 INICET. I got the rank and I got the residency here in AIMS Rajkot in the Department of Anesthesiology. So that was my journey. I was not doing it both together. I was doing it one after the other when I realized that EMREE might not be an option, and I really do want to do residency. That's what happened. So in January I joined and I had to take maternity leave because I was expecting my second child. And after delivery and 6 months of maternity, I'm here back into my residency program. So that is the case. I have written EMREE this cycle as well, but the score was lower than the previous cycle. I had scored 83%. This cycle it was 75%. So I knew that with the break that I had in my career, with the I could get only the research published apart from my previous application. So there was nothing in this application that I realized may be standing out, especially with the career break. I had around 1.5 years of break. By the time I would apply, it would be around 2 years of break. So I thought it's not worth applying because, since there is a break, I might not get called for an interview. And that is why I did not apply to any university this time. That was the case. I chose to continue doing residency here in AIMS Rajkot in the Department of Anesthesiology. So that's my journey. I've never been doing both the exams together. I've been doing MD all along. I've been doing MRCP Part 1, so that I thought it would be a plus for the portfolio. Trust me, it's not. It's not, at least for the portfolio. You can still add into your CV. You can maybe as a certification course or under your education and other certifications, you can add it, but it still not hold any extra value. It does not make you an exceptional candidate just because you have MRCP Part 1. I have cleared it, but it really did not make a difference. So that's my journey. So everybody who is concerned and is in doubt whether you want to pursue both together, I would suggest you first decide whether you want to stay here back in India, then prepare ultimately for your NEET and INICET. If you want to move to Dubai or UAE, you can write EMREE. EMREE's score stands valid for 2 years, and you can use EMREE score to start practicing as a general practitioner, provided you have 2 years of experience. So your EMREE is not going into waste, and EMREE, if you prepare for NEET, your EMREE score can get better, definitely, if you have strong foundation of medicine. But the overall EMREE preparation should be, solely dedicated, because it is going to need your full attention, not just for the preparation. You have to give documentation, you have to do a lot of other activities for your portfolio building. And as Indian graduates, we are not tuned for doing that. We are tuned for studying for hours. We are tuned for doing multiple MCQ practices. We can even do one question under a minute, but EMREE still provides you more, 120 questions over 180 minutes. So you are having enough time also in the exam. While in INICET, you have 200 questions over 180 minutes. So there is a difference. The exam is going to be tougher for NEET and INICET than EMREE. But preparation should be tuned, because you're not prepared to do other things other than your MBBS curriculum. So you need to have enough extracurricular activities that speaks for you and the program that you're going to choose. So you have to first decide the specialty that you want to be in, build a portfolio that speaks for itself, and give EMREE and get the highest possible score in the first attempt, because the number of attempt, percentage and percentile is what they're taking into consideration. And also do documentation alongside, because it is going to cost you a lot of money. So split the expenses across the month so it won't be a burden in the end. Also, it takes time for each of the documentation to get processed. It takes around a month for data flow, it takes a month for attestation, around 2 weeks for attestation. EC takes again a month. So everything takes time. You have to write IELTS. So there are a lot of things you take into consideration while doing MBA. So I would suggest that you first decide where you want to do your practice or your residency or your training. And if you really want to stay back in India, go for it. If you want to move abroad, then do everything that they require you to have. And if you have 2 years experience post MBBS, then even if you do not get a residency seat with the MD score, you can use the score for applying for the GP licensing. So your MD won't go into waste. And it should not be 5 years after graduation, and you should not have more than a year of break. So these are the things that you need to consider before trying to write MD. And that's all. Thank you. If you have any queries, please comment down below. I have a lot of videos on MD already posted. There has been some comments asking for more details on MD. I think I've already posted on the topic-wise explanations. I've talked about the documentation and application process as well. So keep watching and follow me and subscribe and comment down what you want to watch next. Thank you so much.